kids, it's Mark Miller here. Roy's with us. Roy, how you doing, buddy?
I am. I thought you're just checking connections there, because they've been a little bit rocky over the past 24 hours.
I think I'm good. Looks like my upload speed's good. Yeah, I didn't. Yesterday I had a bad day. Had some internet issues, and I was sad. It was sad. We were right in the middle of stuff. We'll pick it up right where we left off, I think, or pretty close.
Okay.
That's what I think we'll do. Let's go switch to this view. Just kind of review where we're headed here. We're kind of going to create a targeting system that allows me to remotely control this UI in TaleSpire. So we're going to have Stream Deck buttons. The Stream Deck buttons are going to communicate with our WPF application. This guy right here. That guy is in turn going to send information across machines to my secondary machine, which let's see if I can. Do I have TaleSpire running on it yet? Not yet. Let me start up TaleSpire on the secondary machine. We see that. Let's go. Can we do this? There it is. There's a secondary machine starting up TaleSpire, right like that.
Cool.
Did I see an error in the background? Looks like I did within it. Did you scroll down? No. I'm not sure what's going on. Thought I saw an error, but I don't see it now. All right. And there's TaleSpire loading up. Anyway, okay, so we're going to do that. Stream Deck is going to send a message over to the secondary machine, the TaleSpire machine, which I'm starting up, which honestly could be a major mistake at this point because I don't think we've actually compiled. I think we're in the middle of kind of writing the code yesterday when we lost internet. That's what I recall. What'd you say, Rory?
I said, yeah, that's quite likely. We've sort of taken unawares at that time, weren't we?
Yeah. Just noticed my secondary machine stopped responding to my mouse. Is it a problem with mouse without borders by chance? It says we're connected. When I move my mouse over, I don't see it. I could put a damper in our situation. All right, well, we'll stay on this machine for a while until it's time to test, and then I may have to get down from the chair here and walk over to the second machine and see what's going on. Maybe get one of my family members to help out. All right, at any rate, I got this idea for targeting modes. Basically, this is just kind of a description of the state and transitions between the states. So there'll be a state of none, not currently targeting, active. It's going to follow the GM's flashlight. And then a secondary command will set its position. So the first one, and we can also do other Stream Deck commands to change its shape while it's moving. I want to be able to support all that. I think this is actually going to take me about 2 days to get this. I think today and tomorrow to kind of get this all working. Hopefully we have strong internet the whole time. The gods of the internets are with us. And then we can, once we drop it, we can then reactivate the target as well. And when an attack is launched, the drop target will be removed, changing its state to none. That's kind of the idea. Finite singularity rating with a party of 16.
Come on in, everybody.
Finite singularity.
Start.
Welcome.
Mark's laying out the plan.
Laying out the plan. Let me send a message to my son via Skype.
So just to reiterate what Mark was saying, we're playing in the TaleSpire space. We're going to inject our own objects, which we've got fairly good at doing now. And the plan is to do a set of targeting logic. So we're going to have a command to turn on the GM's flashlight. That's that thing from above that sort of allows you to point at a singular location. You see the little shaft of life in the screenshot? Light, even. Yeah. We're then going to have further commands to change the shape of that particular targeting mechanic, to change from cylinder to cone and things like that, and then a few other things along the way. The basic point of this is so that we can allow a character or a person within the game to target a realistic point that can actually indicate where they want it to go. Then we generate this appropriate shape which shows the range of whatever the attack is. Maybe it's a spell, maybe it's just a small explosive device, maybe it's just an arrow and has no particular destination. So we're able to show very clearly on screen the center of that targeting and all of the side effects, so any splash damage that might occur, effectively making a much more realistic scenario for people to experience, more visceral, shall we say.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out how to, I've got Campbell in, he's actually working on the second machine, trying to see if we can get
good man.
Get it to work there to connect. It looks like it's connecting. You might try, Campbell, a restart of the machine. I'm not sure why it's gotten disconnected, but it might be something you try. Campbell's taking a look at that. Mouse without borders. Thanks for that raid, by the way. Welcome everyone from Finite Singularity's stream over there. What you guys work on? What you guys? How you guys doing? Let me know. All right. So meanwhile, on my machine, with the flowers being planted by Shirley Death, let's go over to the code and try to figure out where we left off yesterday. Because I was just like, all right, and I'm out. Is what happened. So I have no idea. I don't even remember where we are. Do we have a build? Let's see. Do we have a build working?
Finite Singularity says, we were working on my day job stuff, a construction field logistics app that I've been working on for 4 years. It's impressive.
Nice.
It's dedicated.
That's super cool. Yeah, I like being able to double up and do two things at once during this live stream. The build is, it's working on the build here. There's the progress bar right there behind me. Working its way through. I feel like this last part is the copy problem. It's trying to copy. The machine is not
there to be running, so
yeah.
Some level of timeout shortly.
Hold on 1 second, Rory. Campbell rebooted the machine. I got to go log in on the other machine. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Just staring at Surly's drones on screen, and they are following some really nice curves. I wonder, has he actually programmed some curve?
No, I'll tell you how he does the curves. Meanwhile, Judson's coming in. Thanks, Campbell. I appreciate that. He does the curves actually pretty easily because the later trying to get an update. I'm starting up TaleSpire on the other machine. All right, that looks like that's kind of working and starting. I'm now got mouse without borders working. So he does the curves. This is what he said, as I recall, by simply just pointing the drones at some off-screen location. And he changes that up. And because of the nature of the drones having their own momentum, and then essentially going to a certain place, it acts as any location that you set acts as like a gravity point. And so it's just changing the gravity point, and that's how he's getting these beautiful curves.
He's got a laser pointer and a bunch of cats, is essentially what we're saying.
That's right, exactly. In fact, I'm happy to change these to actual cats, if you want to do this. Okay, second now. I am now, let's see, the build here failed. This failed, but we're restarting the machine. Let's actually get the latest in here is what we'll do. Let me do this, let me undo this, let me close down. I'm going to close down on the secondary machine here. I'll let you take a peek at what I've got looking at right here. Fastest way to close I've found is to bring up the log and close down the log. That's my favorite way to close. Let's do that so we're not seeing infinity. Come back over to my machine. Let's do a rebuild over here. Yeah, I feel like we've just gotten a build done and we're about to do a test to see if the button worked.
Sounds pretty close, yeah.
Over here, TaleSpire targeting. Let's see, let's switch over to the Dungeons and Dragons layout. So over here in admin, no wait, it wasn't admin. It was over here in NPCs and monsters, then in more, then in TaleSpire targeting. This is where I've got these temporary buttons placed right here. So the test is target on and then target off is kind of what the test is. And it's just not occurring to me. Guess what? Bozo left this guy running. Of course, we can't copy because I left that one running. That start alone one. Let's rebuild one more time. This should go much faster. There it is right there behind me. And it looks like that was successful. Rebuild build all succeeded. So I'll start the run from here, I think, so we can step into it. I'll go over into TaleSpire on the secondary machine. Let's do this too. Hold on a second. So you can see what I'm doing. This button switches between machines. I'm going to copy that button, and we're going to go put this in our TaleSpire piece. So we've just got the button here for now. I'm going to grab that secondary button as well. While waiting for TaleSpire to start up on the second machine, which is now I can see my peripheral vision it's doing. More TaleSpire and do that. So now I'm going to hit this button so you can see that machine. I just hit it. I don't see it. The buttons aren't working. Are the buttons not working because I don't have it's because I don't have the other app. It hasn't started up yet, finished. So I hit continue here or start here, but the other app I don't see up yet. That's why the buttons aren't working.
But there's nothing there to respond to it.
Now they just loaded up. Okay, so now I can hit the TaleSpire button and you should be able to see it. There we go. All right, let's just get rid of the scroll here. Hide the scroll, hide the player name tags. Good. Now we're in. Hit begin. Now, if you recall from yesterday, we put a debug log. All we're doing is putting a debug log message out if we can get the message, if we successfully communicate from machine 1 to machine 2. So I think the first thing I'll do is bring up that debug log, which is right here. And I'm going to hit the target on button on the Stream Deck. If we manage to make no mistakes at all, we should see some message here as I recall.
Okay.
And I hit the button and I see no message. So
no.
That's not good. Hit the target off button, target on, target off, hit them both. Okay, let's start by debugging over on machine number 1 and see if we can find that. Let's see, we were in Stream Deck commands and it was a new target command we had added. Is it just this one? It's this one.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Let's set a breakpoint here. And okay, we didn't even get to here. Let's set a breakpoint here. I'm hitting the button again, target on. Didn't we get to here? Did we register it? I'm pretty sure I remember talking about it. We registered it.
Yeah. Plus 3 can power, says Surly did.
Yeah, back, and that means... What'd you say?
I think we're overlapping concepts here. I was thinking maybe something had crashed, but I didn't spot that you had gone as well.
Yeah, my internet's gone. I was like, it took me a second to get it too. I'm going to have to restart a couple things here. Whenever I lose my internet, we have a couple other issues, it seems, we have to deal with. And I'm going to just close down TaleSpire on the other side as well. We're going to start up those pieces up here again. Overlay Manager starting up. There it is. Mr. Announcer Bot starting up. Good. I thought I closed this down. The D&D app I'm closing down.
Okay.
Restarting the D&D app like that. We're going to refresh. Probably going to see another, let's see here. We're going to need to refresh some overlays. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Start up the Code Rush music. Do I have everything up? Looks like everything's good on that side. Starting up TaleSpire machine number 2. I think that's fair. I can do that now. Startup time for this app seems longer. There it is. It just popped up. Maybe not. Maybe I'm okay. All right. Clear and hide everything there. Switch over to TaleSpire machine. We're living in the dark for a second there. Just waiting for it to load up. Okay, it's starting to load. And just because we lost just at the last minute, we kind of died. I'm gonna try the test again, just one more time, just to verify. We're also going to set a breakpoint over in target command because we're expecting to get that. I think that the reason I didn't hit this breakpoint, I'm not sure. I was hitting the button and we didn't hit the breakpoint, but I think the reason that happened is because the internet died just around that time. Okay, so I'm going to hit the button right now, and I'm expecting to hit the breakpoint. I'm not hitting the breakpoint. What's wrong with my button?
That is weird.
Well, it does have the wrong command.
Ah.
What are we calling it? We're calling it target command. Is this right? Was there a TaleSpire target? I want to make sure I'm not confusing this with something else. Target command. Let's double check this. No, it wasn't this one. It was added down to the bottom of this. TaleSpire target was the command.
Mark, just so you know, we're not seeing your code window at the moment.
Now you are.
There we go.
I don't make mistakes like that. This is the one I wanted to get to. This one right here. TaleSpire commands. That's one is there. All right. So at least I'm in the right space. So I want to call this TaleSpire space target space some command. So I'm going to say TaleSpire target on, like that. You can see right there. Got a lot of drones out here. Surely, why don't you fly your drones someplace else? What is this? Is this a signal to me? Are you like boxing me in? All right, so got that one there. I'm not sure what the on or the off is going to be. I have a feeling we're just going to repeat that back, and then TaleSpire target off, like that. Let's see if we can get it a breakpoint now. Any chance? Oh, hey, look at that. A breakpoint. Okay. Our testing command is now on. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That
Good.
means we just hit run. Oh, something happened over here. Cool. On the other machine, there it is right there. Target command received with these parameters on. I'm going to hit the off button, and I'm going to clear my breakpoint. So what happened is I stopped on the breakpoint over on let's see, machine. Hold on. Now I'm switching back. Machine 2's not switching back. Oh, because I'm at a breakpoint here. That's why I've got to just run it. Okay, I was at a breakpoint here, and I was like trying to switch back, and I realized, oh, the app, our Dungeon Master app also controls which view we're looking at. So it controls the switching back and forth. So if I'm at a breakpoint, I can't do.
Broke the app that's actually helping us to switch between. So.
Right. So all right. So back over into TaleSpire over here. So yeah, press the on button. There it is, and I press the off button. You can see that messaging coming through. So we're good there. I think we can close it. We can switch back over to this machine, and now let's talk about what we're going to do on that side. That is down in my TaleSpire. It's in modding utils. Here it is right here. Okay? Target with these parameters. So at this point, I think I want to do something to the effect of, and by the way, Rory, if the sounds here are too loud, if it sounds too loud, let me know. Yes. And we will adjust accordingly. What did you say, Rory?
That's you.
I did not hear what you said. We were like breaking up.
Okay, I think that possibly when the sound is playing, it sort of causes an interrupt of sorts. I was saying that despite the sounds being fairly loud, we can hear you, or at least I can, over those sounds, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, I think there's 3 different volume controls for those sounds. One for the folks listening, one for you, and one for me. So I'm just telling you, if you need an adjustment on that, I can independently adjust your volume of those sound effects. Oh, interesting though. I'm not. Yeah, that's the volume down. Okay, so here is where we get this. This is where we're sending that debug message coming in here. So
Early was saying that the sounds on the stream are a bit too loud from his perspective.
Seeds and explosions. He's asked me to go after these before. Do I just do it now? Right now? Get her done. Let's see. It's not in this one. It's in the drone game. Sound effects. So these drone go booms too loud?
Seeds and explosions, he says. So yeah.
Not sure which one's the seeds or explosions. Let's look at this right here. I'm just going to take this one. I'm going to drop its volume down here. Let me drag it up so you can see what I'm looking at. So this one is drone go boom. Save. I don't think we'll see the impact of this on this show because OBS caches the stuff out there. Meteor hit. I think this is the other one. Multi-track not active. Was that a multi-track I opened up? No, it's just this. I'm seeing some errors in. I don't know why I've got mixer here. There it is, right there. Yeah, that looks noisy. Let's drop it down to here. So now I've dropped the meteor hit. Let's go play that. Just right click it and play it and see how it sounds. Oh, I don't want open. I guess it's open with. Open this media player. Yeah, that's pretty quiet.
Silent.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like that better. Anything else? We'll deal with that as we encounter it.
Okay, so we've made the message all the way through to the debug log. We've proven that the connectivity is good from start to finish. Now it's a question of what to do in response to those commands.
Yeah, I just refreshed the. I just refreshed. I want to see if the seeds, if the sound effect is any different on that. Yeah, it's the same sound. Seems about the sound. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait till I restart OBS. Okay, so as Rory said, let's keep going. If args dot if arg dot length equals 1, then I'm gonna just go straight out to a target, passing in arg of 0, like that. And hopefully I can declare that as an overload. Looks like I can. And then I can come up here, command. And I think I want to do a return right here. And gosh, wouldn't it be great? Maybe I'll do this. Return whatever's coming back from target there. And then up in target, so it looks like I've got to close down. It's going to punish me with these little underlines right here. Suppose I could go into Visual Studio and really dim them down. If I can find them in fonts and colors. What would that be? Yes, fonts, colors, squiggly, underline, during edit and continue. What you got from the internet?
Wouldn't it be nice if you could have an eyedropper sort of thing? And in the same way as you can pick colours from the screen, you could indicate where on the, let's face it, WPF editor, there was a thing you wish to change, and it would say, here are all the styles currently applying to that. Which one would you like to mess with?
Yeah.
Rather than, just shipping 200 or more items at you and saying, find one by its name.
Yeah, I'm actually a little stunned that we haven't seen the name yet on this as an option. Change the color of a rude edit. You're kidding me. Rude edit?
I can see a certain level of logic as to why that might be the name, but it's not one you'd pick by...
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a different color. It's not the same one. Yep. Well, let's look under edit and continue.
They don't even let you eliminate
Search
them with like a filter bar.
Yeah, I know. It's a nightmare. I've talked to the team about this, and they don't care about me. Like, maybe I should have said that. I've talked to him about this. The team. I've talked to like 1 or 2 people about this years ago. Hey guys, here's how you fix it, and they're, yeah, it's known. All right, I'm gonna have to shut down. It looks like I'm gonna shut down the running app. We'll just so we can do this, and I think I'm gonna start it up now that I have the essence of this working. Because all it needs to do is send the command down, and it seems like it's working. So I'm going to start up that app standalone so I can still have it running, and we can switch back and forth between my 2 different machines. But I can now edit here, right? Because it's starting up standalone, I'm not going to get those squiggly lines while I make the changes. All right, so now here's what we want to do. Hey, if command is equal to on, I think that's what it looked like, then we're going to say to be target on, like that. Turn target on, enable target, switch target on, switch target on, else, and we essentially want to off, like that. All right, it's up. Just get rid of the scroll and the other name tags. Okay, so we've got those 2 pieces next. All right, let's add those. Now, else. Now at this point, I'm going to return a what is it called, an API response.
Yep.
With an error message. Oops, I want to say new API response. And maybe do this. API response dot invalid command, like this.
Quite like that structure. That allows you to use, I guess we call it a static constructor, well, not static constructor, but a factory method, I guess. So these are usually static methods on a class. It allows you to provide many methods of creating an instance, but allows you to name the method by which you're doing it. So rather than just lots and lots of overloaded constructors where you have to kind of guess the purpose, it's right there in the name, and you don't have to have one to start with. So you go thing.create valid, thing.create invalid, thing.create error, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's very easy to read.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. So I want to return a invalid command, and maybe I'll call it new invalid command here. I know that I've lost symmetry with my good here. I was able to do good here because of the different number of parameters. So now what I want to do here is I want to have, there's an attribute here, member caller member. Is that what it's called? Caller member, I think.
Name, caller member, something like that.
Caller member name. What are you? It's an attribute. Let's go look that up as well. C# caller member attribute. I think it's going to redirect me to the right name. I kind of feel like, oh, what just happened? That was weird.
There is a caller member name attribute.
So I'm close. Just need the name, word name at the end. There it is right there. That was it. Okay, sweet. So then it goes like this. Member name. I think this has got to be the last parameter, as I recall. Like this, and it's got to have an initial value of nothing, like that. Okay, so now we can say new invalid command, and then we're going to say pass in the member name. I think that's fair. And this is going to be the word failure. Maybe it goes more like this. We're going to say, it'll be a string like this that we're going to say. And actually now at this point, Actually, I don't even need this. I just need a new of new API response. Rory, stop that. Rory!
I'll get right on that. Hang on, I'll go get a spoon.
Let's get a spoon. That's going to work. All right.
Possibly a shovel.
So invalid command, command, right there, sent to, and I think I'm just going to do the same thing there, target. Yeah, but we're going to put this member name here. Okay, what's my problem here? Oh, wait, can I implicate from this to a string? Sorry, invalid command. I don't want it to be a string. I want it to be this. Now, then we got to call to string on it at the end. Okay, like that. And now if we get all the way down to here, we're going to say return API response.good. Maybe to string, or is good enough? I forget. Good returns a string. So I want this to return a string as well. I'm going to change that. I want that to be easier to use. And the toString call, I think, encodes it. Yeah, it serializes right there. Okay. So good. So that just gets it all across, so we can then send that back across, and then we can interrogate it if we need to. Okay, so now we've got switch target on and switch target off. Now, over in my Form Explorer, I added a button called F on and F off, which Rory doesn't like. Doesn't like that second button name because it's a family show and we don't say things like that on the show.
No, it hasn't ever happened.
Maybe it's happened once. All right, I just turned on the music because I was like, do I hear it? Is the music starting? It is. Okay. All right. This is the code we had. This was in a different place, kind of maybe a higher level kind of thing.
Sure.
Flashlight turn on. Add floating spear. I want to start moving some of this stuff down. Wait, Rory is thinking about NSFW content? Yeah, he is. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, you know, but Fred knows.
I'm very, very cautious before opening my mouth to say anything, especially on this show.
Okay. All right, fine. Fred, come on. All right, so what I want to do is I've got this add target, and it's in this form class.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. What I want to do is I want to create a new class down here specifically so I can deal with targeting in TaleSpire. So I've got the core down here, and I've got this folder called TaleSpire, and I've got all these partial classes in here. So I can just type in talespire.board.something or talespire.flashlight.something. And now what I want to create is a talespire.target. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to start with board, I think. I'm going to create a copy of this, copy that, paste it. There's probably a better way to do this. Is there? I think there might be. Hold on a second. Let me see if there's a faster, more efficient way to do this.
Same place, and then duplicate selection the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I duplicate this, change this to like target, like that, and then can I partial class part? What's that going to do for me? Aha! Oh, okay. So it gets me kind of close. It gets me to the thing called TaleSpire. It's kind of what I wanted to start with, almost maybe. So I could copy that to clipboard, then do partial class part, then paste it in, then rename the file. It's not really faster, I guess. At any rate, now I've got my TaleSpire.target, and then I want to add the methods inside here. So it's just TaleSpire partial class with a static class inside, so I could say TaleSpire.target.whatever. That's what I want to do. Cool thing about that is I never have to create an instance, so the API is, I think, more easily consumable. That's what my take is the cool thing on it. And so now what I'm going to do is start taking these pieces that I've got, like add target, which relies on add cylinder, and let's move them. Let's move both of these down into here, like that. We'll make them both public. Devs are working on cool features for CodeRush, by the way. I feel like we're about maybe within 60 days of making an announcement on some cool new stuff, new productivity boosts. I'm not quite using them yet, but they're coming, and I'm happy about that work that we're doing. Whoops. I'm not sure if I should report this or not. I'm not sure if this is an issue, what is going on here. But I notice that if I accidentally hit Control comma instead of Control dot, this comes up. And then if I take my hands off of the keyboard, let's see, Control, that's Control dot. So Control comma, and then I remove my hand from the Control key, it switches me over to the other file. If I hit Escape, it jumps me back. I think this is a Visual Studio feature. I was just thinking, are we somehow, interfering with this? Is it because I had my hand on the Control key still? Did they add the same feature we added? No, it's just doing it. I'm gonna have to unload CodeRush and see if we're related to that or not. Can I do it right now? I don't remember if we have the ability to unload and hot unload and reload. Installed, disable. Next time, yeah, it's opened. All right, fine. So can't do that right now. Start up a second instance of Visual Studio. I think I'm going to do it. Starting up a new instance of Visual Studio, opening up the exact same project. We'll disable it from there. Oh, I should have disabled it here. Okay, at any rate, let's keep working. We'll keep going on here. We're going to add the usings that we need. All right, cool. That takes care of that. Add cylinder actually can be private. We can drop that down to private. So now we've got add target. Let's go over to here. Now, no doubt we've broken this code. And now let's add the appropriate qualification. Okay, let's now rename this to add.
I've tried using that. I've got a copy of CodeRush. I'm not sure it's quite as up to date as yours. I'm in a random project of my own, and I'm control commaing on a type for which a file exists in that project. And I get the same UI come up, but no amount of releasing of keys seems to navigate me anywhere.
Okay.
So, but the UI remains in place.
Also, I'm just noticing the second instance I started up is not responding. Why is that? Wait, is there dialogue up I'm not seeing? Nope. Looks like it's good. Wait, there we go. Just finally kicked in. All right, so now we're going to go in here, extensions, manage extensions, installed, whoops, not uninstall. I want to just disable it. Okay, should have done that from the other machine. Let's close this down. Restart one more time. Opening the same piece. We're also got this add targeting sphere. Well, I actually want that down below is what I want. I want to put that inside of there too. So we'll take that and we'll get rid of that. And maybe we'll throw in the number 40 here. We'll jump in over here. We'll add that. That I think was probably a float. We're going to say the width, the radius, the diameter. We're going to add our call to, add targeting sphere. And I'm just now noticing the
Now you're going to have trouble calling add targeting sphere because it's not static and your add currently is.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Roy?
Nothing at all.
Known effects. Now we've got a problem between two different DLLs. Known effects is high up. I may have to move it down. I put known effects in this space at this higher level piece. Why, you ask? Well, at the time, because it was going to be accessing Google Sheets right here. So in there you can see it there. It's using it at this point as well. So I'm going to have to, I still want to keep Google Sheets out of this low level DLL down here. But, and known effects were really, they were totally native to my machine kind of thing. So I was thinking, well, let's keep them out as well. But the problem is, I either have to pass it down, I have to somehow pass this down, the effect down. I'm going to pass it down in another way.
Okay.
I'm going to have a registration kind of thing that registers the targeting sphere. That's what I'm going to do. Real Surlybot says, behold, P for pudding. I think he's moving into position, guys. The drones, wait for it. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to have the targeting sphere JSON be outside the space. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, int is, diameter feet is an int. Okay, let's fix that. Squirrel. That was me. I just said squirrel. So targeting sphere JSON. What if we made this? We could make it a static property type string like this. No, I want it to be a, sorry, no. I'm going to make it, I want it to be a method. So we're going to create a new method here called set targeting sphere. I like this better. And this is going to take in some JSON. Some, we'll call it composite effect JSON. All right?
Yep.
And inside there, we are going to, that's going to come from the outside. Okay, hold on. Let's go back over to here. And essentially in my initialization, no, I don't want it here. I'm going to get it out into my plugin when my plugin loads up, which is here. And later I've got a scene loaded, basically here, load multi-mod assets, load data. How about there? So we're going to say that is equal, we'll put that line of code there. And the second line of code that came after that, I was hoping I'd visually recognize it. That's close. Almost got, oh look, I watered the plants here this morning, by the way, kids.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Copperbeardy, welcome. It's over, I think it's over in Target. It's this piece right here, composite effect. I want to take that, and I want to now put this in here, and I want to use that. Then I want to break this apart, and I want to make this a field, like that.
So what kinds of alternatives are we going to be passing in here?
None. There's no alternatives. I'm passing in one at the start.
Okay.
Welcome to the stream, kids, where you can get a fanfare that's a literal interpretation of your moniker, of your handle. So there's no real alternatives. I'm just coming in here. I just want to call this a target. Well, no, that's not true. Targeting sphere. There will be some other pieces passed in. We'll have a targeting cube, a targeting cone, maybe, I think. Okay, but there we go. Maybe even give this a bigger name. I can't seem to spell sphere quickly. What are we breaking today? We're breaking TaleSpire. I'm going into TaleSpire, breaking it. Right now we're creating a, we're not really breaking anything. We're just creating something. We're going to create a targeting system. So at risk is breaking TaleSpire, I suppose. But we're going to create something that looks a little bit like this, where we can target a location and specify like a spherical radius for that location, make some changes, do it remotely from a Stream Deck on one machine to a version of or an instance of TaleSpire running on a second machine. That's kind of what we're working on. Welcome, Screech Rat. Glad to have you with us. Message box show. Can I add a using Windows System window forms? I guess I can because I've already got these here somewhere. Okay, so I've set the targeting sphere there, and I'm using it down here. Creator find. That's cool. That gets me the dome. I set the parent to the flashlight. That works and is kind of perfect. And that's add targeting sphere. Now, the piece I'm not so sure about is why am I passing a flashlight in? I'm doing calling get on it right here.
Jet that you're going to replace the real thing in TaleSpire.
I'm going to change this to this. That's what I'm going to do because I don't care about the flashlight.
Okay.
I'm going to do this instead. I don't care about it from the outside. I just want to say target.add. And
it's a parent thing. You're always going to be grabbing the flashlight for this purpose, and therefore you don't need to do that work outside. That's good.
Yeah. And this code simplifies too. I didn't need the Unity engine because there was no longer ambiguity between system.drawing.color and Unity engine.color. So I always love it when that happens. Got some comments here. Looks like that's all old stuff. I was never successfully able to get the material by name, by the way. I'm just noting that now. That bugs me. I'm not sure why I was not able to do. I was able to track down and find the actual material name of what we wanted. To show you that, let's start up TaleSpire here locally, because actually I think you'll like this, Rory. Take a look at what I... we originally created that effects editor to grab our prefabs and composite them. But it did not take much code at all to be able to grab any object and explore it. And that's what I want to show you when we bring this up here. So that's that starting there. I'm starting TaleSpire on this machine, so no communication yet. I just want to show you how I got in and discovered how they were doing it. So that's the and it's really cool from an exploration standpoint. Looking at the tool, right? And the thing was, I remember a week ago when we were working on this, we just finished having that bad week where everything we tried was failing. Remember that? Yeah. And I was thinking, do I want to build my own property editor? No, I don't really want to. But then I came up with this cool architecture that allowed me to build a property editor one property type at a time, which was a much more manageable attack vector.
Let's chunk the problem a little bit more and get some small wins that total up really nicely.
Right. So this is what we were looking for. That thing right there. Now the problem, I'll show you the problems with it though. It's got some dependencies. So if I choose explore existing, it's called photon ruler.
Okay.
Anything with photon in it, I assume means it's communicating across multiple instances.
Yeah, that's plausible, since Photon's the name of their networking library.
Yeah. So, and now we can verify this is it. Notice what happens when I turn it on. See the spin of that piece?
Nice spin up.
Yeah.
The constructor, so to speak, does a really nice job of just sliding it into.
Right. here's the game object structure of it. So you can start to see what's going on here as we start opening these pieces up. Some of these game objects are not alive right now. Line graphic is this guy right here. The guy, I don't see, line graphic should be this guy. I don't see him. I wonder if it's because we turned it off and turned it back on again.
Okay.
Let's escape this out to get rid of it, and let's bring it back up again. And now let's come back over here. We'll choose delete everything, and then we'll go back and choose explore existing again. Grab the what is it, photon ruler. All right, now if I go and look at just at line graphic, see it there.
Yeah.
So something about doing this and turning it back on kills that. I guess I can do that. Sphere graphic is this piece. We start drilling into this. We can start saying, okay, what's the sphere? The sphere is that piece. The decal grid is this on the floor. See it? And then the spinning is this piece right, is this piece, which is a great effect. Okay?
Yeah.
So I've got these pieces. I kind of know how to build them, but unfortunately, grabbing the material that was out here, I even built a material property editor to grabbing all these. There it is right there, FXM ruler. That's the one, that's not on spinning, that's on sphere, I think. But at any rate, being able to do that still didn't help me. So I'm still not able to find, even though I know the name of the material, not able to grab it. All right, let's close this down. And I think we're about ready to test our flashlight. Is that right? Let's see, we are...
To using that same exploratory method to just capture the JSON of the material. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it because I need to know. The JSON I don't think is necessarily going to help me. Maybe it would. Yeah, it may or may not, depending on what data is needed. Like, they might have private data that's not...
Yeah.
Right? And I really think... I mean, I think your approach has merit, but I think that as if any approach you've ever suggested it didn't have merit, but I think it has, I think it would work, but I think that the path isn't JSON. I think we have to look and explore and understand how Unity serializes materials out at design time, and then use that technique. And then that technique would be more likely to be, or would worry me less. Okay. So now, when we double click F on, we go straight just to TaleSpire target.add. What happens when when we do F off, what happens? No jokes from the chat room, please. It just goes to the flashlight turn off, and I think I want to go into TaleSpire for symmetry target dot. No, is it target? So I've got add, and then maybe add's the wrong word. Off is a better word, like that. Let's do on and off for those.
Okay.
So here we're just going to turn off the flashlight. We can turn off the flashlight because the flashlight parents are dome or a sphere, whatever that is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
The other thing I like about putting this in its own class is if we're going to change this live, we need access to the targeting dome. Okay? Now we could find it by going through examining the children of flashlight, okay? Or we could store a reference to it. But whichever path we take, the good news is it's all in one class here that's dedicated only on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to change this to on, like this, target.on, and then we're going to set diameter. I'm even going to maybe make this a default, and then I'm going to say, hey, if diameter is non-zero or if diameter is greater than 0, add targeting sphere. I told you we're thinking about going to Valencia, right, Rory?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, we are now at a point where we have tickets.
Ooh.
And we have no place to live yet. But
Okay.
I took over the job of looking for a place to live last night, and this morning I'm in conversations with a realtor about doing it and trying to get a landlord to give us let us in with 6 months lease instead of 11 months that they want, because I'm not entirely sure about the residency question and the taxes question in Valencia yet, because the taxes are higher than they are in the States, so the impact will be higher. I'll have to pay those taxes as well if I stay more than 6 months. So I want to have a clean exit possibility. So anyway, that's kind of where things are. The cool news is that I'll be closer to your time zone, right?
Yeah,
which will be kind of fun.
very-
So it says, hey, Roy, sounds like we can get cheap holidays in Spain. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you can get cheap holidays. You can come hang out with us. We'll be in Valencia. You're totally welcome, kids. Just got to make sure, in general, I think everything's fine. You can come over. No worries.
Now planning the building of a wall.
All right.
To the property.
Yeah. So I'll just say this works because everything we add is parented by the flashlight.
Now, in that sense, that's great. But does turn off and ultimately off? Does that delete and remove all? I mean, are we throwing the object away?
Yeah.
Or are we hiding it in preparation for just showing it next time?
That's a great question. What I really want to do, I'm not going to do this now. I just want to turn it off and have something simple. Let's build.
I mean, certainly it's good from the control aspect. Yes, if you hide or destroy from that high up, and all children are affected, so they are either hidden or destroyed depending on, again, the nature of the object. So it's a good control point.
Yeah. Did any of that work, by the way? Did the surly thing? I didn't hear the thought bubbles come up. Did they work?
I don't think he coded it to work correctly. This is more of a speech back and forth between you and Campbell.
Oh, is that what it is? Everybody? Oh, you're right, because it didn't have the explanation in front of it. There we go. All right, it's working. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Shirley. Okay, so did I build this? I'm not sure. I'm going to go build this. Right now, I just want to test, see if it works. What I really want to have it do is when we turn it off, I want it to drop the target there. And later, after we do an attack, I want to, remove the target. I just want to drop the target so we know where the target is. Just the cylinder piece. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I also want, I don't know if I said this to you or not, but I want to have the indicators animated and glowing if a character's targeted in that space. So okay. I kind of imagine the sequence is on the stream deck. We get to
see the plates the players stand on, the characters stand on, like you were showing before.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to do target on, set this whatever, and then instead of maybe having this be target off, it would be something like set target. And when we hit set, then what happens is the dome disappears or whatever the containing piece is, but everything inside of it then that's targeted, that's like friend or foe or whatever that qualifies for the targeting, is glowing. Does that make sense? That's what I want to do.
So you've kind of got a show target, which turns on the targeting facility, and then you've got target everything in range, which causes everything in range to glow in the prescribed fashion.
Yeah.
And then take the target, the cursor, so to speak, away, and know just the remainder is here are all the people who are targeted.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Switching over to TaleSpire, just to let you know I'm starting that up right there. Okay, wait, there's I saw it again. Where is it? It's like there's an error that occurs, and then all of a sudden it's like this closes down and the next one opens up.
Okay.
I saw it again this time and I was like, what? Interesting. All right, so TaleSpire starting up. So it'll be interesting to make that transition. We're looking at, so last night I was like, all right. The other thing is we want to put our kids in this cool school there, but the cool school is not located in the city center, and we kind of wanted to live in the city center as well. So there's this, logistics challenge of finding the exact right place to live that can get us the best of everything. This is taking a long time to load. What's happening? Oh, no, I know why. Because we are going through loading up all of those assets that I've got. I've got several hundred megs, maybe 100 megs of assets.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So we're here. I'm going to now hit target on. Nothing. Nothing. And no messages because we took out all the logging.
Oh.
That makes no sense. It just makes me sad. Are we sure? Hold on. Are we sure the message we can't tell for sure that the message is getting through because we have this thing standalone. Can I attach to it? Wouldn't that be sweet if something was easy? You're laughing because you realize, oh yeah, you're right, Mark. Nothing is ever easy on the show.
But have you seen our track record on easy?
Yeah. Nothing is ever easy on the show, it seems. I'm switching over to my other machine, attempting to attach to my main window out here. Am I actually attached to it? Did it work? Let's see if it did. Let's go to our TaleSpire target command, set a breakpoint there, and see if I can trigger that breakpoint. First of all, see if the breakpoint shows up as a stoppable breakpoint. It does. Is something easy for once?
Hang on.
Yes. Okay, good. So we're there. We got the targeting command is now off, or on in this case, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go execute it, and there it is right there. So, all right. So that's good news. All right, this is good news. I can now detach it. The problem is don't appear to be seeing it on the other side. Let's see if we can find an easy explanation for it. I have 2 instances of this open. Apologies. Okay, reload all. Yeah, don't save, I think. Let's just close everything from here. Don't save. Work without code. Where's my work without code option? Just close it down, I guess. Okay, that's my work without code. No code rush loaded now.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do that test, but guess what? I got to have that project reloaded. All right, let's load it back up. I want to do the test to see if we have that same weird behavior. So it was control, comma.
Yep.
Now nothing is appearing here, though.
Now, where were we? Because as far as I understood it, we had to be on a particular... You got to be on an identifier.
We were... I'll tell you what file we were in. We were over in our targeting file. Target, TaleSpire, target commands. We were over here when I hit control, comma. But there were all of these matches that were suggested that are no longer here.
Yeah, so try placing the caret on various things that are in that file.
Well, it is moving to the file. Hold on a second. Can I close this down and then bring it up again? Yeah, so what's interesting is the difference is that I'm noticing here when I hit control, comma, nothing is filled out. Let's go over into this one and hit control, comma. Coders is loaded. Same thing. Nothing is filled out here.
See, I don't think it's a purely file-based thing. I know it can operate in that mode, but I think it's like several of our features where if you've got your caret on a type in that file, when you hit the control, comma, it pre-populates with some information based on whatever you were next to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's it. All right. So let's try that. Let's have that selected.
Match or something.
Yeah. Control data. There we go. That's the problem. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's without code rush loaded. So it's not us
automatically picking the first thing in the list and jumping you to it.
It's problematic for me if I've got something selected because sometimes I'm not trying to hit control, comma. I'm trying to hit control dot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see if we can find a quick explanation for this. We need to go down to mod utils. I think we're going to have to just add TaleSpire core. Modding utils. I think we were down in this space. Target command. There's our quick explanation. Pretty sure this is the problem.
Yeah, it might have something to do with it.
I had actually no calls to it. Oh, no, wait, I had calls, but they were just over in the I did have calls, but the calls were over in, let's switch over to second machine. They were just in response to this button.
That's right.
Ooh.
This is the more generic version that allows us to respond to commands properly.
Right. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. I think I know what that could be. That could be, hold on, let's go back, switch back over to the other machine. That could be in here. I thought I load data. Aha. And this is the second missing piece. See it? Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. All right, I think we're okay. I think we basically need to do maybe one more thing. Just say, if that's equal to null, then we're going to get out, but we'll say error targeting sphere effect not found, like that. All right, and now that we have, this is cool. Now that we can attach and detach safely, it seems. Rebuild all failed, but what's the error? Couldn't copy. That's because I still got TaleSpire running in the second machine. No worries. That's easily solved. Just killed it. And just now starting it up. Let's watch that thing so we know I'm not crazy. There, see it? Whoa.
Something was there. Yep.
And then it's gone. It takes it out of my hands. I'm gonna have to screencast that, I think. I have a better feeling about this.
Yeah.
I just realized we approached that code we just did without the usual care that you and I normally apply to this, right? Normally we're like, wait, double check this. Have we done everything? We ask ourselves those questions. We did none of that. It's also, this machine is reaching out to Google Sheets to grab the data. So there's a couple things going on there. All right. Waiting for the adventure to begin. All right, we're in. Now let's hit the target on button. Dang. That's because you were thinking about living in Spain. That might be true. Target on button is not doing anything for me. Let's see if I've got any error messages. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And all right. How confident are we that this is all still working? I think this is all still getting it. Whoops, sorry. Let me do the right monitor. This is still working, right?
Okay.
I think that's still working, right? We've only disconnected, detached, and reattached. All right, so let's go in and let's set some we'll send this out no matter what. Like that. Then we'll send out debug here. Switch target on, rather. Or no, I like what I had. That's good. And then we'll do the same thing here. Off. Let's go look at target.on. Got any problems in there? Yeah, we should see the flashlight turn on at least if it's getting the signal.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing that. All right, let's go to TaleSpire, shut it down. Switch back over to Visual Studio, rebuild, Explorer. Rebuild all succeeded. That one's good. Let's go back over to TaleSpire and start it up. Object not reference not set to an instance of an object is what it said. Where's that coming from, I wonder? So funny. I started up PaintShop Pro on machine number 1, and while I'm doing some machine number 2, I'm watching both machines kind of chug a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to throw more horsepower. That's the problem, Roy. That's what we need. More horsepower. Let me just see. I think I got a screenshot of that, and mouse with the borders allows me. Oh, took it too soon, or maybe missed it somehow. I don't know. Dang. All right, didn't get it.
I tried to get into the stream, and I realised, unfortunately, that whilst we're broadcasting, there is no watch earlier in this. You can do it after the fact, but when it's sort of saved it all up. The other theory was if we could have clipped at the right time, we'd have been allowed to go back 30 seconds or so to.
Yeah.
To do that.
So take a look at this. Just that.
That's something. Is that the targeting graphic wrapped around a slice of cylinder?
No. This, I'm not sure what the circle is actually, to be honest. The circle is, I think, something that TaleSpire puts down in the center. I think that represents the origin.
Oh, I see. Yes,
think
because
we're popping it in there.
What's showing on top of the object?
Yeah, flashlight's not. Let's see if I hit the L button and turn on the flashlight. There it is, right there. Does it make a difference? Oh, look at that. If the flashlight is on, are we just failing to turn the flashlight on? If I turn the flashlight on,
isn't there?
And then I hit the button, we get that.
Which is pretty much what we want.
Yeah. Look at this though. Look right behind it. See that area right there? That I think is left over. I think we've got some problems in how we're building this. Oh yeah, see how it went away right there? Flashlight on. So now it goes with it. Let's turn flashlight off. If I hit my flashlight on and then I hit my target on button, no, it doesn't leave it behind like this. Target off, and it takes away. Interesting. So that's not nice. That's a mess. It's like the parenting didn't work. But do we see any errors? I don't see any errors in here. All right, back to the code. Let's go look at the code over there.
Back to the code!
Let's go back to the code over there. Somebody's following. Thanks for that follow. I just missed it, whoever that was. Did you get it? Can you see it, Rory, in the...
I did not see anything. Let me see, is there a...
I got it. It's Ren Diesel. Thanks for that follow, Ren Diesel. Let's take a look at the code and see what's wrong with it. We do flashlight.get. Is flashlight.get, is that all we need? It's not all we need. We need to turn it on.
Did I see the word toggle there somewhere?
Let's go back. There. We're missing this bit of code right there.
Okay.
Okay, so at least that's part of the fix. So target.on is going to go like this. We have to say flashlight.turn-on. And maybe I'm going to change this to just now on. Flashlight.on. Similarly, I'm going to have a flashlight.off. Okay, that's good. Good. That means now that's now flashlight.off. Okay, so we're close. The cylinder adding is not happening. Is it because diameter is 0? No, it's 40 there. Ah, it is 0 from here.
It is 0 by default because we're not passing anything in.
We're going to do that.
Assuming that the cylinder is sort of within the 0, perhaps. And thus it's kind of, cut off.
No, that's not the case. Watch this. Just look at take a look at the code. Diameter all we're doing is checking to see if diameter is greater than 0, then we add the targeting sphere.
See.
So that's all. That was the problem. So, okay, so let's do a rebuild. Next thing, I'll be having a siesta in the afternoon, says Surly Dev.
Yep. That's apparently you have to in Spain. It's kind of the law. No, maybe not quite.
They take it seriously.
I think it just gets so hot during midday that nobody wants to do anything, so they go have a little nap.
I got it.
Oh, well
just
done.
as I think it was fading out. Look at the difference. See, doesn't that look like it's in the middle of fading out? All right. So null reference exception. Send kill trying to connect. Wait, what's all of this? I should maybe get some of this for context here. Yeah, it totally looks like something was about to. Let's see if we can increase contrast. There we go. All right. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Stack trace. All we get is configure canvas. Hold on. Let me just get the TaleSpire load happening on the other screen. Configure canvas from settings. That's not me. I do not know what that is. Interesting. Okay. Back over to TaleSpire. This time I'm way more hopeful this is going to work.
Yes. Makes a lot of sense, those little changes that were added. Of course, they were there before for the other operating mechanisms, so now that we put them in place here, we should be good.
Yeah. Just got a little bit of load time we're waiting on for this. Okay, hitting my target on button now.
Well, that's different.
What was that?
What was...
And it's shutting down. Okay. Do you think we should take a more careful approach to writing code, Roy, like we normally do?
Possible.
Interesting. I'm switching to TaleSpire, and it's not switching me back. I mean, trying to switch away from TaleSpire. We're still stuck on that other machine right here. And that doesn't make sense to me because I do still have on this machine, I still have my main window running. Internet seems good too. I can manually change it. Oh wait, there it goes. Just took a while. Okay, fine. Let's see. Oh, because, yeah, you see it says not responding. So there's some performance issue in here. I think I'm going to kill it. Are we out of the performance issue? Maybe we are. Okay. All right. So we'll keep going. TaleSpire, target, on. Add cylinder. We know all of this works. We've seen this. Now add targeting sphere.
We're fairly careful in this.
We don't have verification that this is actually working. But load data is being called right after we build this. So it should be working.
We're checking the targeting sphere JSON for being null, but what if it's just blank? Will that catch?
Oh, what's that? Set targeting sphere. Let's just throw a little more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Targeting sphere found. Targeting sphere not found. Like that. Okay. Is that all I need to do? What else am I missing on this? Targeting sphere. I need some protection inside. Well, this isn't a try-catch.
Yeah, and we're not getting any kind of message box pop up for that, unless you count that very strange UI, but I don't think that was us.
No, it's definitely not us.
I did notice in the error message that you pointed out in the Unity logs, I believe that wasn't coming from us, you're quite right, but it was coming from a debugging.ui something, and I wonder if that UI we saw on the screen was tied. If you look on the left, debugger.ui.other.
Yeah, I'm not sure what SR is. Steam, maybe? I wonder if that has to do with Steam. Configured canvas from settings. On destroy. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's the first time I've seen it. I don't recognize that message. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm not seeing. Go ahead. What do you want to say, Roy?
No, sorry, it just froze up for a minute there, so I missed the last maybe 10-15 seconds.
Okay. Well, I didn't really say much. I was just looking and thinking. I was over here looking at this saying, I don't know what SR is. It might be Steam.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw out more debug messages here, so at least we can maybe see what's going on. I think it's highly unlikely that these are problematic. I'm like kind of surprised we're having a problem.
Stompy robot debugger, says Coding Gorilla.
Okay, that makes sense.
How stupid that is, but okay.
I believe it.
If I was making a debugger, that would be a valid name for it.
Yeah, and all we do, and even the on switch is protected by a try-catch. So it does not make sense to me. Well, except for
Well,
this.
we just added on for just prior to that.
Yeah,
And that's-
no, I know, but you know what I think it is? I almost think, so rebuild all succeeded. Let's switch over to the TaleSpire machine. I think it is that that's a real thing. It's Unity debugger.
Okay, totally buy that.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy, for that. How you doing, Coding Gorilla? So my idea was, remember how when we kind of created a problem space, I think? Oh, no, wait, that was a previous run, wasn't it? I don't know. This is like, look, if I can't catch this exception, it's kind of what this seems like. If I can't catch it safely and get out. What kind of world would that be?
Sad.
Trying to create a 40-foot diameter. Okay, here we go. Hitting the target on button. Maybe I should get the log messages up so we can see it. And I think I'm going to have to move this. Can I? Oh, shoot, I can't move it. I can't resize it, can I? Is there an option to do this?
Is there a Control-Alt-Enter that sometimes works for that?
Window mode. Okay. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do this instead.
Cool.
There we go. And now I'll be able to see this at the same time. Really interesting. I've noticed that in this instance, depending on where I am relative to the center of the screen, if I'm far away and I click, it just moves wherever I click to the center. If I'm near the center, it just moves wherever I click near the center. That only happens on this machine, doesn't happen on the other machine. It's really, really unusual. Okay, so now we have this up right here to some degree. We're going to see this on the side. And even clicking on that, look at that, that's crazy. So I click here, and it moves it away as if I've clicked the board.
Yeah, that's...
I don't get that.
That's annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, I'm going to hit the target on button on the Stream Deck.
That's that strange UI again.
Yeah. It basically means something really bad happened.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that's tied into the Stompy robot debugger.
I am not there yet. I don't see that. And also, I didn't get a sense of the message. All it simply said, it said target on. Let's see, we saw this one. I don't remember seeing this. Are we having problems with add cylinder?
We are not on the code window.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, buddy. Switched it over, waiting for the switch to happen. There it is right there. So, sad. All right, so let's keep going. I guess flashlight could be off at this point. Maybe that's my problem, because that's not protected.
Just search for Stompy Robot debugger and an image search of that, and none of the images that came back were anything like what we just saw.
Okay.
So, yeah, probably not the same.
But this on, I think, was protected by a try-catch. It is. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. I'm just like, I don't even get how are we having what's causing the problem? This and all of this code works at a higher level, so bringing it down should be fine. I most suspect this is my problem. Add targeting sphere. So we'll do TLD. Whoops, TDL. Is that right? No, TLD. Oh, I'm missing.
Just overwrite the brace. Interesting.
Wait, did you see a bug?
Well, maybe. Yeah. If you go back. Oh no, it was a deleted the brace rather than.
Oh, I was here and I did Yeah, I think I deleted it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, TLD. There we go. And we're going to say adding cylinders. I'm super concerned about the about the try-catch blocks not saving the day. Not stopping us. Adding targeting sphere.
I mean, to my knowledge, there's one, maybe two exceptions at all that can't be caught. I think one of them is a memory exception, and you're not going to be hitting that particularly.
So now we're throwing a lot more debug messages out.
Yeah.
More than we did before. Rebuild. Starting with TaleSpire. I feel like my lighting is a little dark. I think when I was adjusting my camera, I adjust the exposure, the aperture, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there an empty window, though? Where are all the options? I'm not sure what you mean by empty window. Pudding? Tell me more about that.
I think it was the Form Explorer just hadn't loaded correctly.
Oh, right here, yeah.
It's perhaps.
This is so crazy. A click out here.
It's like they've spawned an object outside of the window that is full screen, despite being in windowed mode, and they're capturing all the clicks there.
Yeah, I don't get it. All right, so back over here. Keep your eyes on the left, right above Fred, and hitting the target on button now. We just get to flashlight.on. Flashlight.on.
Bye-bye.
It's right here. We do not get to this. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Switching over to machine number 1. Well, I said I was switching to it, but I don't see the switch occur. Why is the switch taking so long? It's interesting. It's super responsive with regards to these guys.
So, our theory is that whatever this problem is, it's actually causing TaleSpire to crash.
There we go. Now we're here.
And I think
yeah,
that impacts the speed at which, because it's probably not gone per se, even though the UI is. So it's disposing of all that memory, and it takes a little while to be truly gone, and that is killing your CPU and thus not switching you over as quickly.
I don't think that's it. I think that's actually not it at all. These are different chunks of code. They should be totally unrelated.
So flashlight on is the last thing that we definitely saw.
Right. If is off, then toggle. Call non-public method. Well, okay.
Is this the difference between us running it on the copy of TaleSpire that's on machine 1 versus machine 2? And are they in maybe different states of update? I.e. they're not on the same version as each other?
Maybe, but I don't. But the thing is that if we start up TaleSpire on the second machine and I just hit that F on and F off button, those call these same methods, and I'm pretty sure they worked. I'm pretty sure we tested those on the other machine.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense.
And you know, that's. But yeah, I can see how someone might get uptight with this not working. I need an F off button. This is Coding Gorilla. Now, well, they're, you know, I'm building them here on the live stream. Full source code included.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're asking about, yeah, the piece that was loading, it's just a bunch of stuff was loading up in the background on that other machine. Switching back over to TaleSpire machine. I'm bringing it up one more time so I can hit the F on and F off button. I wonder, you know, here's the one difference. When I hit F on here, this doesn't have focus. That's like the one difference. When I hit this here, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about, right? Let's see what happens if I hit target off. Because target off is going to turn the flashlight off. Okay, that worked. Now let's see if I hit target on. Is it going to crash us? So after creating once, what'd you say, Rory?
So we're still missing something. Something in the initialization of the F on button, or perhaps prior to the F on button, which once it's been done, once that has been achieved, on and off just works from either version.
Yeah.
But if we don't use it, then that small piece of initialization, oh, that's novel.
Yeah, it's putting it around 0, 0. It's parenting, but it's not setting the transformer correctly, is what it looks like to me. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, it seems like...
Yeah, we've got to look at the F on button, or maybe things that happen before it's pressed, things that are initialized prior to, just as part of our application startup or anything like that.
Yeah.
See what's missing.
Yeah, that's how it should look right there. That's how it should look. If I put the caret right over the origin, it works. This part works correctly. But if I move it off, it centers the shield around the origin. So now it's all looking weird. So definitely have to fix that. What's bizarre is we made no code changes, right? We just simply went in and said, let's hit the F on button. That's all we did. Let's go look at that button. That's in the Form Explorer. There's the F on button. TaleSpire flashlight on. Oh, well, this actually just goes in and says TaleSpire.target on. It calls flashlight on, but it doesn't need to, because guess what?
Because we're doing that ourselves
We do it
now.
right there. So that code doesn't need to be there. That's it. I kind of want to see if we can fix adding the targeting sphere. Transform position is 0, but I think we should set this after we set the parent. I think that may be all we need to do. In other words, we set the parent, then we set its position, and that should be its position inside the parent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's, and also, oh, I'm doing position. I should be doing local position. Local position, I think, is really what I want to set.
Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Because I was setting position to be at 000 at
Absolutely.
the origin. Okay. Okay, so I think that's going to fix that problem. What else? Let's go look at what your suggestion is, Rory. Let's see if there's any kind of initialization that's here. Well, we do have register effects, but you know, that's in the construction of this. Custom fire effect. Yeah, this is for other stuff anyway. It's not related to the flashlight.
Any static things, which, you know, just initialize all collections or fill collections of stuff?
I don't think so, but let's look. No, nothing this is all old code, has nothing to do with any of the other stuff that we're working with. Oh, this is making me a little bit crazy. Why wouldn't it work? I think meanwhile on the second machine, I'm going to take TaleSpire and shut it down and restart it and get back to the point where we can duplicate that bug, that issue. I'd really like to know what it is. Yeah, I'm not happy about that click and move behavior either. It seems related to the shortcut settings. I think it's a bug in TaleSpire, but I don't have it at all on when I run TaleSpire on the machine that's in front of me. Not the machine that's one left. Okay. Begin. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just kind of like you just got to wait a little bit, Mark, and then turn on the flashlight, or maybe manually translate. If I turn the flashlight on and off manually, I wonder if that will solve the problem.
That's what the test, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try that, I suppose. So I'm going to come in here, or do you want to just try and see if we still have the problem we thought we had before?
I'm fairly convinced we do still have it.
Yeah. I'm there kind of with you on that as well. Okay. So I'm going to turn on the flashlight, turn it off, and now I'm going to hit the target on button. Okay.
Ta-da.
Not bad, but why didn't setting local position work? That failed, it seems.
Okay.
All right. So now do you want to, I just hit the off button. So there, if I just, that's what we want it to look like right there. Target off. Target off should be a better kind of thing too, so it goes away. It's kind of a cooler effect. So that time we came in. Now I think what we got to do, Roy, is see if we still got the bug. Do you agree or no?
Yeah, because this is kind of strange. we seem to be establishing that there are three ways to do this. One is our new command, one is our old button press, and one is using TaleSpire's direct facilities. And only one of these three causes us a problem. And it seems that especially because by virtue of, you know, just turning on the flashlight at all using TaleSpire causes this to disappear, suggests that our new command is not turning things on quite the way we believe it is. And somehow there's a discrepancy between the way we're doing it in the command and the way we're doing it in the button.
Yeah.
Although very hard to think what that might be.
Yeah. This is a family show, Rory, so you can't say things like turning on or you're going to make me hit the F off button. So, all right. Let's see here. How we doing? We're loaded. All right. So this time I am not going to hit.
So this isn't to prove that it's still broken.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to see it break here, because then we know we're in this really interesting place. So I'm hitting target on. Yeah, it breaks.
It very much does. That particular dialogue said TaleSpire Unity and then a version number. So interesting that it is a TaleSpire dialogue primarily.
Sure. Right. Yeah, no, I think a problem happened internally. I'm going to do one more build. I have this. Let me go switch over to my other machine so you can see it. Come on, machine switching. Why is it so slow? It's remarkable to me that I've got responsiveness here. Like the main window can do it. It's as if the main window isn't getting the chat command that's being set. There it is, finally.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wondering if I have to. I really feel like this should be enough. That's what I feel like. Without that, I feel like that should be enough. But I'm pretty sure we were using the latest build. You know what? Let's just verify, because I really think this should work. I was thinking, well, maybe I didn't get a build across. So let's go in here, rebuild this one more time. I think what's happening is the creator find is setting its last position, which is probably at 000. But this act of setting the parent and then verifying local position is 000, right there, that should stick it underneath it and put it in the right spot.
That should certainly think so, yeah.
Okay, so let's go look at what flashlight.on does that is problematic. TaleSpire .flashlight .on.
The only thing that's different between the two is the way that they're being addressed. I think in the successful version we're qualifying it more. Now that might just be as a result of the namespace it's in and where we're calling it from. But I seem to recall that the version under the F-on button is a three-part, so it's sort of namespace.class.method kind of logic. Whereas the one that we're using here that isn't working is for some reason just two parts. As I say, it's thin. There's not a lot in that.
Yeah, so to show you that, you got TaleSpire.target.on, and
we're already TaleSpire.
You're already in the TaleSpire namespace. Well, I thought we were. This is modding utils, so this is what we're calling it from here. So it's actually, that's the same there. This is flashlight.on. And in the other place we saw TaleSpire.flashlight.on, I thought, but I'm not seeing that anymore because I guess we got rid of it.
Well, sorry, target.
I'm pretty sure the problem is well, you know what we can do? We can throw more data at it, see where exactly the problem is. I think the problem is in toggle, is where I think it is. Like that. So I'm going to make that is off, is on. And then we want one for toggle. I think the problem is in toggle. And I think that the problem isn't that we're calling the public method. I think we get the call successfully. I think it's shortly after we call it, or as we call it, it does something else. And it's like, toggle flashlight, what? And that's my theory. So we're going to just do this before and after.
Sure.
Got a few more messages in there. Let's go build this. Rebuild all succeeded. Switch over to TaleSpire. Start it up. We need a pudding fanfare button. Yeah, we do. So no shows next week, guys. Well, I'm going to be at Dev Intersection speaking there.
Yep.
Okay, so let's bring up this guy. In fact, maybe even do this. Keep our eyes on the left. Hitting the button. Here we go. Toggle start. Yeah. And that's right where I thought we were going to go. And then it's eventually crashing, I think. So it doesn't like the call to the non-public method.
No.
Toggle flashlight.
Well, that's very disappointing. It does ultimately prove you correct about at least the location of the problem. I guess it's still conceivable that it's not so much the executing of that method as it is the executing of that method under circumstances which we are somewhat unaware.
Yeah. That's kind of what's going on. That's kind of what I feel is happening. Type of local client, toggle flashlight. It doesn't like that. Could it be... Let's go start up TaleSpire again. One more time. I'm wondering if it has to do with if I'm in player mode or GM mode. It'd be interesting to see. If I'm in player mode, then I want to pursue this. Will you actually be there or presenting remotely? I'll be there. Screechat. Presenting right there in the room. And also remotely as well. Or also virtually. You'll be able to see me virtually if you sign up. Yeah, I think it starts me in GM mode, even if I last was in player mode. And the reason why that's interesting to me is because the flashlight's something that they say only works for the GM. If you're the GM, you can only have a flashlight. But I've seen that that's not true, that I can actually toggle it on and off if I'm in player mode. But I was just thinking, what if I'm in player mode? I'm just trying to imagine what kind of code could crash TaleSpire if I toggle that flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we have the other workaround. But the thing that's crazy is the workaround, hitting the F-on button here seems to work. But again, the difference is this has focus, not that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm in GM mode. That's what I was looking for right up there.
It's a pretty minimal difference though, isn't it?
Yeah, if I hit it from here, no reference exception in add targeting sphere.
Okay, that's very
different, but it works. And then if I do F off, I come over here, now I'm gonna hit the Stream Deck button. No reference. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Let's go see exactly where that is. Create or find?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Hit the button again. Targeting dome is equal to create or find. Is it in the call to create or find? Yeah, it's inside create or find this call.
Code.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, buddy. It's inside this call because we check to see if it's null on the way out and we report it. And we're going to get another debug message here. Create or find is getting a no reference exception in it. Different from what we were seeing before. All right, let's see where we can find those no ref. Where can we protect against null refs in here? That's good. Now,
Fortunately, Mark, we've now reached the end of my time for today.
okay.
So I'm going to have to disappear on you. I'll leave you with this particular problem. However, I believe we have one more show tomorrow.
We'll show tomorrow, my friend.
Indeed. All right. We'll see you then.
All right.
Yourself a
See you
good
later,
one.
buddy. I'll keep going. And we'll see you tomorrow, Ray. Hey. All right. All right, so I guess I'm going to start throwing out some messages here. Seems weird because it was kind of already working. Right? Let's go switch back to TaleSpire a second. F on works, right? Oh no, we're still getting the error message here. I'm suspicious. Because we didn't make any changes. I'm suspicious that this is a reproducible issue. Meanwhile, let's go back over to here. Just so we see what we're doing at each spot. There's some protection right here. Unlikely. We did make one minor changes to, well, we had this down here. That code. I don't think that's related to this. That doesn't seem likely. We'll just do that. Pretty sure there's nothing we're cloning here either, but okay. Put that there. Put that there. And then just double check all of this. So creation complete. Like that. Call them modify properties. We don't see that. I suppose there's a chance. Is the child going to be null? All right, let's do that. Shut down TaleSpire from the other machine. rebuild. Looking at internet options for our place in Valencia. Anybody out there is in Europe or is familiar with these? I have choices between Vodafone, Movistar, and Jazztel. Those are my choices for internet providers in Spain. Did the build work? I didn't see a message on the bottom. Rebuild all succeeded. Okay, so hitting the F on button works as expected. Hitting the target on button now works as expected if I've done it once at least from this location. Good. That also it also verifies that that new code works as expected. Okay. The off is too sudden. I need an animated off, but the on is pretty good. I like it. Okay. All right, let's try to reproduce as we were before, see if we can get any more data. This time I'm not going to click the F on button from the form. What's interesting is we really made no changes to the code between step 1 and step 2. We only added debug messages, I think. Which actually I should have double checked to see if we saw any interesting ones in there. We did add some protection against null refs, and we added debug messages associated with that protection. So we should see those in the log if there were in fact any problems in the creation of the sphere. Okay, so this time we're going to try and reproduce the bug. Hitting my target on button. Just get straight into toggle start. Start up again. I'm going to try hitting the button from the form and see if it's a focus issue. See if for some reason the focus switch, because what happens is there is an event in TaleSpire that fires when it's activated and deactivated, and so maybe there's something about that. There's something about it not being active. McCabe is like, hopefully you're loading the set injection flag plugin or setting it yourself. Yeah, I don't think I am. Am I causing problems, McCabe? Let me know. I'll go look it up if I'm supposed to do it. I saw something about that and I was like, I think I'm good. They're going to ignore me. They won't be distracted too much by me. All right, so I'm here now. I'm going to try hitting the button and see if we can still get the crash. I kind of want to get that up too so it's visible. Here comes the button press now. Still get the crash. What's remarkable is the same code, if I just click this button, doesn't crash it. It seems. It's the same code. Oh man, if I'm remembering right, the flag will stop those error reports being sent to the devs so they don't waste time with modded reports. That's what I understood as well, but I just kind of had a feeling that the information that's sent to the devs would include that, you know, that there are mods in there and they would know about it. But I need to double check it. I think, is the flag new, McCabe? I think it's new. If it's not, if it's old, like it's been around for months, then I think I am setting the flag and I'm okay. Because I'm still using old code, an old set of mod utils. I've got code based on some old mod utils that I think Hell's Breath, I think, originally wrote. That's what I think. What did I want to try this time? Did I want to try anything different? No, I guess not. The thing is if I hit the button here, everything works correctly. Turn it off, it works. And now if I come over here and I remotely turn it on, it all works as I want it to do. Possibly might be worth a check. The mod utils is typically done on other plugin though, and it doesn't seem to be loading. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I think I moved that over. It doesn't seem to be loading because I kind of took it out. Well, anyway. It's like I got to start it once right now. So right now, to keep the bug from happening, I've got to be over here and do this at least once. Hit this button once. And if we switch back over to my other machine, that button, I wonder if it could be a threading issue. Does that make sense, what thread it's coming from? That's not like the only difference. That at this point I'm like, wait, what is the difference? If I hit F on, it comes in here, it just sets, so this is going to be coming in on the UI thread here. And it calls TaleSpire.target.on, passing in 40. The other place where we call it is here in switch target on, which is coming from a command, which is definitely not going to be on the UI thread. I am now at a point where I think it is potentially a UI thread issue. Now in WPF, I can get things on the UI thread with a dispatcher.invoke, but I'm not sure how to do it in WinForms. What is my process there? I think it's like a begin invoke, something like that. Let's see what we can find. C#, get to UI thread, switch, something like that maybe, in WinForms. Invoke. I'm just like, wait, would that really make a difference what thread I am and if I'm plugged in a Unity project? But maybe. This doesn't really help me. I don't really want to update a property. I don't want to do that. I want to just want something a little simpler than that. That's more what I want right there, I think. It's just invokes as Coding Gorilla. Is that all it really is? Yeah, so that's my new theory. My new theory is that this is that's kind of what it is. So it's invoke, but is that going to work from, or is that only going to work from the form? Let's see what happens. I got a code snippet here. Event handler? What? That doesn't quite look like what I want. Yeah, this is more what I want right here. Only works from the form. Yeah, I can't do it from the form because I'm not on the form when I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's for primitive win form application. Okay. Use hidden windows. That doesn't help me. I don't want a hidden window. Please help me. Just give me some answers here. Oh my God. Really? Where's Stack Overflow when I need it? Synchronization context. Oh, you guys are killing me. P invoke. Oh my God, you guys, seriously, this much code? Works fairly well. Really? I gotta go do P invoke? You should be able to reach the window with something like, oh, you really want me to do that? All right. I guess that's the shortest way out of this whole thing. So, don't see it from here. Yeah, because we're down in the core. The problem is we're down in the core here. Hold on, let's try and do it from up higher. We can do this from up higher. I'm going to do this. Yeah, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, in my call to on, not from here, but from here. Target. Yeah. Somewhere in this space. We're in modding utils, but here, I think we could do it. I hate that I have to do it in every place, it seems. It's a little gross to me. Also, why would it matter for Unity if it was UI thread? I'm not entirely certain that the theory is correct here. Is it main form? Main window? What is it? Application dot. All right, let's do this. Let's just put an instance of it when we construct it down in modding utils, which is right there. Yeah. So you agree, Coding Gorilla, that the theory is a little shaky. It's probably not right. Basically, though, the problem is we get to this point where we're in Flashlight and we're calling this method, this is what fails. So why would this fail sometimes but not others? And why would it fail in a deadly kind of, really bad crash way? In other words, if I toggle it, and the other piece to this, though, it just occurred to me, it isn't the thread. Because we know that if we create it once and then destroy it, this doesn't have a problem. Local client. What would be different? I just don't get it. I mean, I can... Yeah, so now I'm starting to think it's not that. What would happen if around here we did this code followed by this code? All right, let's go back over to TaleSpire. Yeah, I think the thread idea was not a good idea because we have that data that seems to indicate it's not the problem. Okay, rebuild here. And switch back over to TaleSpire, start it up. Yeah, so essentially the same code is being executed in two different places, works from one, fails from the other. But once we do it once from the one it works from, it succeeds in the other place. And when it fails, it crashes hard. All right, we'll take a look at this. Flashlight is null. So we already turn it on. The call to get flashlight returns a null flashlight there. That's interesting. I'm not seeing the message yet that says we are... Oh, there it is. Form Explorer Constructor. There it is. Okay. So it looks like that kind of tried to turn it on and turn it off, but we weren't at a point where we were loaded yet, fully loaded yet. So that probably isn't going to work, is my guess. All right, in here now, ready for the test. Looking for probably a crash, expecting a crash here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. That's not the right spot to do it. In. When is the right time to do that? I have a form loaded event handler on here, in here. Looks like no. Actually, maybe not from here that I want to do it. I want to do it from my plugin. Could we put it here? Load data. I don't think this is happening in this space either. We might just have to do this manually, I suppose. I suppose I could do this as a workaround. It would be great to know what is causing it though. And I think I'm gonna have to walk away from this for right now and just do the workaround on this. Should I even try this? I think this is happening too soon. Still. I could do it here. I could do something like this. Initialized target. That would be set to false right there. Create a new method to initialize target. Like that. We simply turn the flashlight on and then off. Here we can say this I don't want anymore. I want to simply say, hey, if not initialize target, then initialize target, like that. And then I want to hook up to this event right here. Like that. So creature on line of sight updated won't happen until after the creatures are dropped in. So it's happening much later. And I'm just looking for the very first one that occurs. And I think once that occurs, I think I want to unhook the event so I'm not listening to it anymore. Like this. And let's also set that to true. Haven't initialized the target, and now we've initialized it, and we're out. All right, let's try building that. So I guess right now I'm just looking for a compromise here of making the error go away. Trying to nudge TaleSpire into chilling out about the error. Saw an error up ahead. Let's go look at that error. Come on, hold on. Error reading Google Sheet. Okay. That could be a big deal. Okay, so we don't have the sphere, but everything else should still work. It's crashing, isn't it? No? Just nothing is happening at all when I click the button. Oh, look at this, it feels crashed. I just hit the F on button, it's not releasing. What is going on? All right. Oh, geez. It wasn't a problem. It was that I had a selection in the... I I had a selection here. And when there's a selection in the log window, it freezes everything. Flashlight is null. Yeah, it looks like that code is... I'm not sure where this code is being executed from. So line of sight update is not triggering that. So we got that error. Flashlight's no, but I don't see errors about the Google Sheets. So it looks like we got, wait, what was that? They're reading Google Sheets again. Now I'm hitting the button. The targeting sphere had a problem. Add targeting sphere, targeting dome, creator find. It's in creator find. That's all we've got from it though. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Oh, it's targeting sphere. It's not set. Hold on, switch back over. Let's find that. This is not set because of the other problem that we said before. Probably do that. The Google Sheets thing is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what's causing that. And I'm starting to think, okay, so have I got the workaround? I think the workaround's actually working though. Have we been able to figure that part out? I think maybe it is. Let's close this down. Do a build on the other machine with this other change that we made. Else is calling target on. Initialize target is coming from there. Let's make sure we label this correctly. Toggling flashlight. Okay, rebuild here. I'm not seeing the error message in here. Maybe we got lucky this time, or maybe it was able to get that asset. So one flash by. That one's okay. There it is right there. So there's the initialized target piece we're talking about. And no apparent errors in this space that I can see. I wonder if that means, now if I hit target on, okay. Wow. So a lot more work than we expected, right? To get to this point where I could turn this on and then turn it off remotely from the Stream Deck without it kind of crashing. It does appear for a second here. I'm just noticing the flash there at 0, 0. That's a consideration. Let's write this down. Let's go. Let me switch back over to monitor number 1. I think this can solve it. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we got that brief flash. We need a more relaxed off animation. We need to slowly see it kind of go away, I think. Okay, switch back over to TaleSpire. All right, so step 1 is essentially done. What's the time now? I think I'm going to say that's it for today, and we'll come back in tomorrow and we'll kind of continue, pick it up. I think. Does that make sense, or should I go for a little longer? All right, I think I'm going to go a little longer, but I'm going to take just a quick break, and I'll be right back, and we'll go for maybe another half hour, another hour. Be right back. All right, kids, hooking back up. All right, now that we've apparently worked around that problem, should I stay or should I go now? Now that we've worked around this problem, the next thing I want to do is I want to now drop this cylinder in the world. When I say the cylinder, I mean that collection of cylinders right there in the middle that form that target. I want to drop them wherever, when I hit a button, I want a button that says, okay, drop. That's what I want to make next. And when I drop, you're welcome for that earworm. Oh, I gotcha. Should I stay or should I go now? And I want to track it, keep track of it, so that later when we say we fire, we pick it up. Okay, so I kind of need a few more test buttons here. Let's come over here and just create a couple test buttons real quickly. Copy this, paste it there. We're going to call this drop, I think, or set target maybe. And then would target off be all we would need to remove it? Set target. The target off is kind of this weird thing. I'm going to copy this though, and we'll put it over here. And we're going to create this one called clean up, like that maybe. So TaleSpire target clean up and TaleSpire target dot set. So I'm adding those two commands right there. So target on, targeting, set, cleanup. Cleanup would be called actually separately from an attack, like when we did an attack or some other thing, we just aborted the last piece. But that's kind of the idea. So I've got basically two new commands, set and cleanup. All right, we don't need to make any changes to the core app that's running on this machine. Over here in TaleSpire Explorer though, down in modding utils, in this space, we need to do something. And, well, change that to target cleanup. And this one is going to be set, target set, like that. Okay, so target cleanup, target set. All right, so set is going to take the current position and essentially establish it, which means targeting needs to store that information somewhere. And it also needs to take that cylinder and put it right where it is. So that's not what I wanted to do. Control dot, set method. So let's go to flashlight.get. If not null, then the flashlight's on. I think there's also a flashlight.get position as well. There it is right there. Okay, cool. Now, at some point we've got add cylinder. Add cylinder currently takes a flashlight. What are you doing with it? Just getting your transform? All right, let's do this. Let's change add cylinder. Do I want to do this? Hold on. Yeah, I do. decompose parameter. We're going to change this to the parent, like that. So let's extract this to its own method. Call it add target disk, like that. Decompose this parameter as well. That'll be the parent. Okay, so down in the set, I think what I want to do is create a where's my instantiate call? I forget where it is. It's unit.object.instantiate. I actually want a primitive. How do I create a new primitive? I totally forget this. How to do this. Primitive. What do I got here? GameObject.create primitive. That's what I'm looking for. Right there. Okay. I just don't even want that. I wonder if I can get away with just creating a new game object. Let's see if I can. I just don't know if there's any kind of instantiation that needs to happen here. Just needs a name. Call this the target disk, like that. So there's my new game object. I want to say this dot transform dot position is equal to, I could just say target position, like that. Now I've specified it. That's the parent. Now I can call add target disk, passing in the parent, which is now the target disk. It feels like we need some renaming here. Dot transform. Okay, good. So that's my parent. So set does that, and then we want to say flashlight.off. Like that. Flashlight off should just destroy the other piece. And now we've got our target disk, which is being held outside of this. We have a reference to it. Next, when we get to our cleanup, we're going to say, hey, if we're null, just get out. Otherwise, we're going to say this dot. Is it a destroy on this? I forget. Is it on object? Where is it? Am I getting it from the right place? Unity.object. .destroy. Yeah, I was in the wrong object apparently. And then we're going to give it that instance to clean up, and then we're going to set that instance to null. That's our cleanup. Let's see if that works. Switching back over to TaleSpire. Closing. Looking at the police in Valencia, my realtor says, Mark, I'm dealing with the owner and forcing him to accept your offer of a 6-month lease agreement. I'm like, okay, we don't have to be too rough with him. So, we're starting out with a 6-month lease agreement because we're not exactly sure about residency in Spain and how that whole thing is going to work, especially with regards to residency and taxes. And so it's slightly a little bit of a concern. So we got some hoops we got to be jumping through. So I want to make sure I don't commit to more than 6 months of rent in Spain. Okay, so now we're here. We're loaded. I'm going to hit the targeting button. Make sure no crash. A crash. Oh, look, it's starting to come up from the top. You can see it starting to appear. How did we get the crash? I thought we had the successful workaround. It's just sad. Well, what's my error that time? Oh no, that was the older error that we've seen before. Okay. So now I got to do the manual workaround. I think decompiling the TaleSpire sources in my future. I'm going to look more closely at that method and see what the heck could, what's going on with the TaleSpire method that's resulting in the crash. Or that could likely lead to it. Bonk. Yeah, there's the code that should have, whoops, I meant to highlight it, but yeah, we saw the, there it is. So there's the code that should have saved us, but it does not appear to have saved us. I almost think it saved us this time. I'm going to hit the targeting button right now and see if we crash or not. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe it's just we got to wait long enough before we turn on the flashlight. All right, now I'm going to try hitting the set button. And so hopefully if everything works, what we're expecting or hoping to see is that this disc stays right where it is and the other stuff should go away. So I'm going to press it now. Nothing happened. What about cleanup? Nothing happened on cleanup either. I'm hitting the target off button. Target off works still. Targeting works. Target off works. Why no set? Let's go look at the code for set. Maybe we got a case sensitive issue on the command. Well, we're saying what the commands are, so we should be able to see it in, we should be able to see it over in here. Yeah, there's the set command. That's what we're checking for. Just the one arg. That looks good. There it is again. If I hit the cleanup, what's it say? Cleanup. So yeah, set and cleanup. Length is 1. We come over here. There's on, off, cleanup, or set. We should see a TaleSpire.target.set call, but we don't. It's as if the build didn't get across, is what it looks like, because this debug message was already in here. And when I hit the set button, let's see, I do not see it. I only see this. It's like the build didn't get across. All right, let's close this down. Let's do the build one more time. rebuild everything from machine number 1. And rebuild all succeeded. All right, and let's start up TaleSpire. So what do you want to bet? Does it work this time? Or does it fail? Right, so that's the code that we think may have fixed the bug, but it's obvious it didn't seem to happen. Let's see if we get a crash. Interesting. So I only get half of it. If I hit set, it does leave it. If I hit clean up, it takes it away. All right, cool. So targeting. I missed this. I think that's probably Google Sheets load error. Hit the set button. Okay, if I'm moving it though, the set is not super responsive. I have to kind of hold it still. Here's hitting the set button now, and wait till the light goes off, and now it's set. That's cool. Next step would be to find all the targets within the right space. Now so cleanup I have to do. I should actually have a call to cleanup when I invoke targeting again, so that we don't have multiples. What I'm talking about is this. If I drop this here, and then I do it, now we've got this weird situation. That doesn't make sense. If I clean up, there, that goes away. Targeting off, there's that. Okay. So a little bit of cleanup there on that. Okay. I think I want to try making an attempt to load I'm trying to figure out why the load is failing, what the errors we're getting is on the load. I might do this here too on initialize target. I might also move the what I'm expecting to find is the Google Sheets load. Is it here? It's going to be known effects. It's here. I want to move this. Since that's all I'm doing in load data, I want to take it out of here and I want to put it later after we are here. I want to do this. See if that makes the world any happier. All right. On TaleSpire machine, shutting it down. Going to come back over here, do a rebuild. Back to TaleSpire machine, start it up. then the thing I want to add is once I set it, I want to then go ask for its position. That may be the last thing I do today. Bring back the position of that target wherever it is. Once I have that position, I can then find all the creatures within a certain amount of space of it. Do I want to change the size of the container? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Okay. Targeting sphere found. So we found the targeting sphere. We've initialized the properties. Do we have this bug that sometimes gets us? Are we going to crash? Are we crashing? I'm hitting the targeting button. We've not crashed, but I'm not seeing the target appear either. I hit the L button to toggle the light on and off. Hitting the targeting button. What is going on? Oh. Selection means I'm kind of locked up. Oh, wow. It's not the UI that's locked up. It's okay, so interesting. Okay, kind of super interesting. All right, turn it off. All right, here we go. Targeting button. Cool. Set. There it is. Clean up. Set. Nice. Clean up. We need to clean that up when I hit the targeting button a second time. Switching back to machine number 1. TaleSpire target. We make that sphere 10. Sphere 30. Sphere 60. Let's hit these buttons, switch back over to TaleSpire. Hoping to see when I hit these buttons, we'll see them come across in the chat, in the log. Yeah, there it is. Sphere 10, Sphere 30, and Sphere 60 are all coming across. Okay, good. Let's work on the code to change the size of the sphere. Okay. To do that, add targeting sphere. By the way, we don't really need all these debug messages anymore because, or actually that's an important one, but we don't need the rest of these because we know where the problem is. All right, so adding the targeting sphere. Oops, didn't like that. Excuse me. Oh, targeting sphere, what's this thing? That is that thing. Let's call this composite effect, like that. Then we're going to create targeting sphere, like this. Then this guy is going to be that. Whoops. Let's rename, paste, and then get rid of the local declaration. So now we have a reference, a piece that we can reference. When we turn it off, we're going to say flashlight off, and we're going to set that to null. Because it's already parented, we just want to make sure we don't have the reference to it. When we call set, we're going to set that to null as well. Instead of calling flashlight off, I'm going to call off here. And then that will, in turn, set that to null. Okay. cleanup. I almost feel like cleanup should also call off. And we should set, oh yeah, sorry, that's already happening in off. Okay, all right, good. Now, we've got the target disk out there, the targeting sphere. So next we need to talk about how we're going to set and change the size. So else if command dot starts with sphere, change target sphere size. And we call get sphere size, passing in command like that. Let's declare constant for this. Call it sphere prefix. And I want to actually pass in just the ending string here, maybe, I think is what I want to do. Do a substring starting at sphere prefix.length. And we're going to say to int. I'm going to create maybe something called int for now. Like that, I think. Now, I don't think we need these anymore. And if we don't need those, we can probably inline them. I can't inline this. Maybe because this hasn't been declared yet. New size. Can I inline them now? Can't. Let's report this. Code rush issue. Kids, I'm expecting inline method to be available here. Here's the call. That's all it's got inside of it. I'm hitting the code rush key and I don't see inline method and delete, which is what I'm expecting to see. Switch target on is only called from one place, right here. Don't understand why that's the case. Inline method and delete is not available. I'm inside modding utils right here. Just we'll do a quick check-in so you can see that code and get it exactly as I've got it. Working on added target type and target util spell, added remote targeting UI. We started adding it. Stage all, commit. Okay, that is now out there. call this issue inline method not available. So add the tag. Did I not put the tag in the right place? Let's try again. Push it to the origin. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hit that button right there. That was my problem. All right, so try again. Issue inline method not found, not avail. Add the tag. There we go. Now are you out here? There it is right there. So get that, copy that to the clipboard. See if I can include that even there in the link. All right, stick that in the chat room. Looks like that worked. Okay, switch target on. Let's do that. Switch target off. Target cleanup. Here's inline method and delete, now available. If I pop that in there, is it still available? Ah, it doesn't like that. Interesting. Okay, devs, take a look at that. It doesn't like this call. It's like it thinks it can't move that out. It can't move that out. In other words, if I were to take this, let's see, extract it into its own method, will it do it now? It is available now. Inline method and delete. So now we're calling new method. Can I do it there? And I can't do it here. It doesn't like the insides. That's the bug. All right, good bug. Okay, so we have now on, off, cleanup, set. Get rid of that. Change target sphere size. Do something like that. All right, change sphere size. Let's declare that. Now we want to check to see if the targeting sphere is not null. Maybe alternatively, if it is equal to null, we get out. Otherwise, we're going to work with it. This is actually new diameter in feet. Set scale. Set sphere scale. It's almost all we need is just this bit of code here instead of this. Change sphere size. Looks like it didn't update from one over here. Wait, oh, is it just that it's not, it's private, I see. Okay. So set sphere scale. Target sphere is null, we're out, otherwise we set it right there. That should do it. I think it's gonna do it. All right, closing down TaleSpire on the other machine, right-clicking over here, doing a rebuild. Rebuild succeeded, going back to the second machine. Starting up TaleSpire. So now what we're hoping is that the Stream Deck buttons will now change the size of the sphere as we're moving it around. Today we've seen kind of some intermittent problems, some unexplained intermittent problems, both in terms of loading up assets from Google Sheets. One of the things we did to change that is we're making that happen now after when less work on the machine is done. So things aren't so heavy at the time we're going to go out there, and it seems to have been successful. We have a small data set, so it's hard to tell how successful it is. We've only got a few number of times that we've seen the problem, small number of times that we've seen the problem. I'm going to still try to push it and see if this fix is working for us. All right, I'm hitting the button now. Okay, that worked. No crash. I'm going to hit 30 feet. Ooh, good. 10 feet. Nice. Nice. 10 feet diameter. Now I'm going to hit 60 feet. Sweet. I love it. That's what we're talking about. There's even one spell that has like a 5-foot diameter. In fact, what's cool about this is we can add that right now. Right now with the mechanism in place, we can come in and add the missing pieces here. Right? Come in here. Can we get the sphere to grow and shrink instead of jumping sizes? I'm sure we can. That's a great, great, great point. Let's change this to 5 feet. There's a different icon out there, I think, for it. Need to learn about animation. I'm sure there's a way to do it. We can build in our own animation and mechanism as well, but I have a feeling there's already something that we can exploit, like give it a script and set some properties. I bet we can totally do that. Yeah. All right, where was I headed in here? I'm going to, is it targeting? Targeting. UI. 5 feet, is that what I'm doing now here? There's 5 feet, good. Copy, paste, let's go to 20, and grab the right image. There's my 20 feet. Then I got my 40 feet over here. Whoops, not what I wanted to do. Set from file, 40 feet. I think 60 feet's the next one. After that, I've got, what, 120 feet? 120 feet. $120. And then we've got this massive kind of 200-foot sphere for like a few spells, or one spell maybe. All right, switching back over into TaleSpire. We'll watch it jump in size. All right, so here's 5 feet. 5 feet. That's a 5-foot sphere right there. Wow. But it's about right? If you look at it next to the character, it's about as tall as the character. Yeah. So let's turn this off. Let's drag my character. Can I drag my character? Can I move my character? Move that guy. There we go. Now I can move him. All right. And then we'll hit the targeting 5 feet. There it is right there. Yeah, so that character's about 5 feet tall. Okay. 5, 10, 20. Was that 40? And 60 don't seem to be changing, so I need to go. That's 200. That's 120. 60 doesn't seem to be having an effect. What's going on with 60? Looks right. Switch back over to TaleSpire. Why is hitting that button seeming to do nothing? Well, there we go. It just got something out of it. But it didn't seem to change it. Oh, no, wait, that was 120. 60 is not having an effect. 40 is. I don't see what's wrong with the button. It looks pretty much identical, changing only by the number 60. Change it to 50. Hit the button. I'm seeing no effect on the other machine. It's like the button is broken. Weird. Copy that. Paste. Grab the 60 foot. Change it to 60. Let's try it now. Now that worked. Something wrong with this button. Okay. Interesting. All right, back over here. So there's 40, 60, 120. $200. What's crazy is you can barely zoom back far enough to have it to see the range of effect of a 200-foot spell. 10, 20, 30, 40. All right, not bad. So functionally, it's not bad. And I like how the light goes kind of all the way down, and then we just kind of start to lose the light right there as we get big enough. Okay, so not bad. Animation. It's a spell of mass destruction. I forget which spell it is. Switch back over to my machine here. Open up the spells. Somewhere in here we've got a, looking for a 200-foot sphere. There it is right there. It's called plant growth. Right there. So that's a 100-foot radius sphere. Okay, I think that's going to be the show. It's not bad. We kind of got through some weird bugs, broke through it. We don't have animation like Screechrat was asking for. It's something I'm going to have to research. There's a couple ways I know how to do it, but one of them involves, writing more code than I want to do right now. I kind of want to give it some thought. However, I think the solution I'm leaning towards on this Screechrat is to create, it's twofold. One is to create a script, a mono behavior Unity script that animates scale from one position to a new position, from one scale to another. Gives me choices of what animation style I'm going to have. In other words, what kind of easing I'll have on the animation. and allows me to set those properties and a time, and then give it a command to go. And then that's step one. And step two is then to be able to take that script by name and apply it. So I essentially want to create the ability to say, okay, I want to now apply my scale animation script to this object, set these values, because I also want to be able to do that from any kind of creation code I have. When I'm creating spell effects and things like that, I want to be able to attach scripts to it and set properties dynamically using essentially only text. Okay. Thanks, everybody. What a stream. Let's send you over to Kale Codes. What's going on over there?
0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30.
Looks like she's
And
having
this is
fun.
what-
All right, I'm going to start the raid over there to Kale Codes. Send you over there, kids. Thanks for joining us. We're here back tomorrow again. See how we're doing, and we'll see you then. And if you're going to be over at Dev Intersection, I will see you next week at Dev Intersection. Take care, everybody. See you soon.